My name is Kevin Akeem Jacoby Johnson. I had a rough start that I kind of caused on myself. I had dropped out of school. I hadn't had a diploma or anything. Spent 9 years incarcerated. Went in at 18 years old, and I got out at 27, 28 years old. You know, being incarcerated or being a convicted felon, just coming out of incarceration period, and you feel like you have no opportunity. You feel like there's no option. I don't have any option. First, I need to work. I need employment. I gotta make enough where I can live, and I gotta make enough where I can pay my obligations. But I also know that I can have better for myself. Like, I'm better than this.
My name is Inez Godby. I'm over our recruitment program at Columbus Waterworks. Kevin comes to me and he says, I'm in need of a job. What do I need to do?
And I felt like as long as they see me and they hear me, I got a fighting chance. I told these people my situation, that I had been incarcerated and I was a convicted felon, and that I would come here and work my hardest and do my best if I was given the opportunity.
He came out here and worked hard and works hard every day. And because of that, we have a loyal employee. All I had to do was open the door for Kevin. He sold himself and kept it.
The responsibility that was given, it kind of helped me shape my path in my life. I got a sense of direction now. I have hope. And I can see a little bit better. Where once it was kind of blurred. I couldn't see. I'm thankful. I'm grateful.
Isn't that an inspiring story? I know it inspired me when I first heard it. And I am Kristen Barker. I am the program manager for Better Work in Columbus. And through my work, I get the great privilege of meeting some really wonderful people. And two of them are sitting here next to me. One of our employer partners, a very early adopter, was Columbus Waterworks, who chose to partner with us right off. And Inez Godby here is the lead recruiter and HR manager for at the Columbus Waterworks, a wonderful partner. And she was present in a workshop that we held with managers there at Columbus Waterworks in, I think, early 2020. Is that right?
Yes.
And what happened during this workshop is we were talking about second chances, and those managers in that meeting started to get really excited and started to talk about and really even argue about a particular employee that one manager stole from another, or someone was going to steal, and where he was going to be next. And that employee was Kevin Johnson. And it was that discussion that showed me a couple of things. One is that Columbus Waterworks is a company, an organization that is a believer in second chances. And the other is that there was an employee there who has really stepped up and become a gem of an employee to the point that the managers are fighting over him. And so I wanted to know more, and that kind of brought us to where we are today and the video that you just saw. And so what I'd like to do is just explore a little bit what's happened with your lives, with Kevin's life. And as I mentioned, I was really blown away by the family culture within the Columbus Waterworks and how supportive they were, not only of each other, but of this particular employee through the process. And so, Inez, I'd love to ask you first, how did it feel to see Kevin really brought into that culture and that family at the Columbus Waterworks?
I think, first of all, Kevin humbles us. He humbles me, that's for sure. He empowers us. He empowers the department he works for. He empowers all of us. Kevin also has taught the organization to not be so judgmental. At any time, somebody could be in Kevin Johnson's shoe. And that's just the reality of things. You go through life. Life is hard. Adulting is hard. It's harder for people that have to come out of the correction systems. So he impacts us a great deal. I mean, he's our family, aren't you, Kevin?
Absolutely see that. He is family, and you really see it that way, which is wonderful. And I love that you embrace people within that family the way that you do. Kevin, what is different for you now than it was before you started working and became a part of that family at Columbus Waterworks?
I'm sorry. Dang. First of all, man, how everybody doing, man? Oh, yeah. Damn. I know if I can, remember, where I was at and, emotionally, mentally, before my opportunity to better my life and, feel, I think the first group had mentioned it, had that sustainability or just comfortable or being secure, or knowing, man, you know what, I got 4, I'm straight. I can afford health insurance. It was, man, I felt, it was kind of hopeless. And then also the pressure of like my dad, which I was thankful that I have. My dad raised me, and just he never been in no trouble or nothing. Like the path that I took, he professional man, did everything. So now I'm looking at that like he looking at me like, boy, what you gonna do? So it's like, man, I got to do something. I can't, do the stuff that I wanted to do, maybe, be a police officer or go to the military or, something that I know my dad would be proud, like, but that's my son. But I was like, man, you know what? I got to find something, I want to make my daddy proud. I want to make my dad, I don't care. I wanted to make my daddy proud. The more that I started to, get engaged in what was going on and believe and start trusting in the process that Miss Inez was telling me to follow, I started to say to myself, you know what, I'm proud of myself. So that confidence, that's something that I can say has changed. Once before, I wasn't confident. I was kind of, I was timid and really, I felt defeated. I don't feel defeated no more. And also, materialistic. I ain't had no car at first. I was able to buy me a truck, decent truck.
That's right. That's right. Tell them about your truck, Kevin.
Yeah, it's a decent truck. It's coming, but I'm thankful I got it.
Inez said it's nicer than her car. So Inez, as Kevin was going through this transformation, right? Because I know, like right away, he came in from the noises and the voices I heard in that room that day, right? I know he came in ready to work and he came in ready to do what he needed to do. But I also believe there was a process of transformation with him. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. So my job at the Waterworks, as Kristen stated, is I oversee the recruitment program there. So my job is to get creative. Being that Kevin had a testimony, he just happened to stop me and explain the situation, and I've heard it a lot before. What separated Kevin is that he had this drive and determination to want to do better with his life. And so I gave him instructions. He followed it to a T. We work with several partnering companies in Columbus, Georgia. And one of the advantages I had was to basically take Kevin and guide him, mentor him, and coach him. We work with a place called Georgia Tips, or I do, and it's mainly for people that have been out of the workforce for no fault of their own, one of the programs that they're in. And so I decided to rein Kevin under that agency to allow him to get acclimated back into the workforce. And it was just so happened we were at an employee appreciation luncheon, and both sides of the managers are fighting for him. You know, hey, who's that guy? Let me tell you what happened. He ran from one end to another with materials, and make it happen, Inez. And I'm going, oh, if they only knew. I will get right on that. And so William Kent, who is our environmental services manager, had him at first. And then field services wanted to pick him up. And they, I think in a month, Kevin, it didn't take very long. They ended up rolling him on permanent. And so y'all have to understand, I truly have a passion. I always say that I truly believe that if you love what you do, it's not work. And so one of the things I truly love doing, and people think I'm crazy because in the arena of recruitment, and I know that one of the panel, the ladies up here runs a staffing company. I don't know where she's at, but in that industry, you either love recruitment or you don't, because you're in the business of selling people. And as we know, people are unpredictable. And in order to have a successful product in the industry I'm in, the product is the people. So you have to know the people. And so Kevin just took it and ran with it, and he is. But guys, like I'm choked up talking about it because I watched this man, broken, come to be a successful guy. Like I said, when he bought his truck, things we think about it. How many of us go to the dealership and are able to walk in there, hold this conversation with the car dealer guy and, you know, negotiate prices? He brought his truck to me and showed me this was something that he did by himself, all under his name. So that's huge.
And Kevin, so what I'd like to ask you is, you know, having gone through everything you have gone through over the past, because how long have you been with Columbus Waterworks now? 2 years? About 2 years? So having gone through that process over the last 2 years, when, let's say, you hear someone talking about being hopeless or feeling hopeless, how do you feel? How do you respond to that? What, like, let's just say you're at the gas station or the corner store, and you hear someone having a conversation, and you can just tell that they feel like they don't have any hope. How do you respond? How does that make you feel inside? Since you know you've been able, you're kind of on the backside of that.
For one, it made me feel sad first. The reason I say that, and I can say that I feel sad, because I can give you an example of a time that I experienced that. I was able to go with Miss Inez to a job. I think it was a job fair. We went to a job fair, and so you know we got our stand set up, and you know me and Miss Inez, you know, we talking, and I'm watching her, you know, talking to everybody. So I, you know, got people at the table. People able to come up and, you know, speak to us and talk to Miss Inez about getting a job, and I can explain to them about field services and what's going on. Well, one particular guy, I saw him he just kept like walking in a circle, and like I could just see like the confusion, but it was something that I saw myself. Like I was like, dang, I was like that once upon a time. So he come over to our table. I think he came to our table, but then he looked at me and walked off. And I was like, hey man, where you going? And he stormed out. He was like, no, I ain't got nothing to say to you. I ain't got to talk to you. Y'all, this don't look like the place for me anyway. I felt that way before too. But I said, hey man, I said, it'll be all right, man. I said, come back, man. Don't just throw away an opportunity like that. You don't know, where to come out of this. And so I'm talking with Miss Inez, and he come back and he said, hey man, I'm sorry, but I've been to prison, and it just seemed like, this ain't the place for me. Y'all ain't gonna accept me. I said, hey, just don't explain your situation off the bat. Just go up, sell yourself the best you can, and when you find somebody that you could trust or you feel that got your best interest at heart, then you open and tell that person, say, hey, I got something I want to tell you. But, so.
Yeah. That's another thing that struck me about Kevin is he's got a spark. He's got a spark, and if that spark can catch in our communities, that's what we need. Yeah, absolutely. So Inez, thinking about other businesses, other companies who might consider kind of starting Second Chances hiring program, what advice would you give them?
I would say, HR professionals, don't act like you don't know what a second chance is. Just do it. And I have said it. I mean, that's all there is to it. Take a chance. Because the same chance you take with a Kevin Johnson is the same chance that you'll take with an Inez Godby. At the end of the day, it's the race to prove yourself, someone to open that door and for you to sell yourself. All of us have a Kevin Johnson in us. Everybody does, whether we made the wrong decision at one point, whether we were nervous going into a car dealership, nervous talking to an HR professional, not knowing where to go. We all started as Kevin Johnson at some point. Kevin Johnson took the opportunity, because all I did was just say, come on in, and he went right through with it and is still going strong. So my hope for the community is that for every call I can take from HR professionals, and hey, tell me your guys' thoughts on policies. We talked about changing policies. Again, the lady from the panel, I really admire the things that she says and she does, because I get her. I understand that industry. The more people I can talk to and say that from. There's a whole transition center in Columbus, Georgia. Why are we not utilizing that? Those are things that we want to do, because they can become Kevin Johnsons if we bind together and coach and guide. These are all key words I've heard throughout tonight's event. And that's what we do.
I could say this too, Ms. Inez. And I'm gonna let y'all know, cause y'all didn't know, like at the time, sometimes you deal with like so many people that you try to help, and I can understand, like from a HR rep position, that you help people and they'll mess up your name, because they not going in under. I'm not going in Columbus Waterworks under my face card. My face card been messed up. I'm going up under this lady face card, or the people that's helping me. These people are like, look, I'm gonna put my face on the line. You go do it. So y'all have to make yourself vulnerable. It's just the difference, I think, was I set out because from the jump I felt like I got something to prove. It's just that simple. I got something to prove. It's bigger than you, but you gonna benefit. In the end, you gonna benefit in the process too. But it's really bigger than you. I got something to prove. So that vulnerability that you had, I had. Thank you. Thank you.
Don't take that like you're welcome. You know that. I think one of the things I'm working with, and it takes a lot of education. People need to see things as it goes on and see it happen before. Unfortunately, that's how people are. They're judgmental of felons. I thank God every day that He's blessed me with the passion that I have, because helping Kevin, helping others is not a job. It's something I actually love to do. And I'm just extremely proud of him. Driving up here, I was just like, aren't you proud of, aren't you happy? I mean, because this guy really, I mean, he was, y'all, I'm excited to be here. And thank you all for inviting us and listening to us talk, because it's huge. It's a big deal. And it's been really big in the city of Columbus. I mean, the calls I get about rewriting policies, or what do you think about this? Columbus Waterworks has been using this term, second chances, for a long time. It's just now being spotlighted, if that makes any sense. We've given people second chances. Our policies allow us to do that. You know, I just think it takes better recruiters. It takes better HR personnel to take interest and a chance in doing so. So.
Absolutely. So one final question for you, Kevin. I don't know if this is going to be an easy one or a hard one, but just today, what is your dream for yourself right now?
My dream for myself right now, to reach somebody, wherever they may be. I hope that whoever recording these tapes or videos or whatever, I don't care how long it be, I hope somebody somewhere one day, I don't care where they at, in prison, in transitional center, in the hospital, just listening on the radio or watching on Facebook or whatever they doing, I hope that somebody be like, man, you know what, I can do it. If this man can do it, I can do it.
I love that. So if there's one thing I take away from this conversation today, it is that giving people second chances creates a stronger workforce. It creates stronger communities. That people who have served time in prison can be your best employees sometimes if you give them a chance to do that, and that you could be missing out. A company could be missing out on a star employee just like this if you don't take the time and you discount someone before you give them a chance.